Big Mike and company are happy. You are tuning in to Louis Live. We got a great show here, the Express Edition here, a 1 hour show. Big Mike is our guest at 10:30. We'll talk a little IFL and some NFL lockout. I want to go first some serious news, though. This is a sports show. We like to have funny games, but I don't want to ignore reality. And obviously there's a lot of problems in the world, but I wanted to talk about this because it hit the Jewish world pretty hard. And wanted to say Baruch Emet about what happened with 9-year-old Levi. It's something about it hard because not just that he's not a 9-year-old was killed, but the nature of the crime of what happened, and you kind of don't know where to really begin with something like this. I would say that we have to have a lot of faith that the person responsible will be brought to justice. There's some great comments made. I've seen that New York doesn't have a death penalty, but Shem is over New York state law, and that's something I take to heart as well. That there are bad people out there, but we have to have faith that Shem's going to take care of it. The whole issue of how much energy, effort we have to put in, that's the $1 million question. But at the end of the day, that God will take care of it. I'm not one of these guys that just wants to say peace, peace, peace. I would like to see the person responsible swiftly executed, and in a very painful way, because it's totally disgusting. It's beyond cruelty. I don't care if the killer had some issues growing up. It doesn't really matter to me. I'd like to see him gassed and have gasoline thrown at him and set on fire. Just really disgusting. But as far as what happened to Levi, just everyone should really dive in for his family and his friends. And at the same time, I think if someone could somehow do some good out of this, do more tzedakah, mitzvot, learn more Torah, just do something extra that you won't do normally, something to better the world in Levi's honor, I think that would be a great thing. But that's my my thoughts there. We're going to go on now to sports, funner things, talk about in the world, kind of goofy things that aren't important, so that's why you can kind of relax a little bit. We're going to first talk about the All-Star game. Again, determines home field advantage, so pretty significant game here. Roy Halladay pitched great, 2 scoreless innings. Really, overall, in my opinion, I felt a pretty well pitched game. When you take a look, the All-Star game is a game that, in general, has a lot of offense. You wouldn't be shocked to see a 10-9 type of game in an All-Star game, 9-8, 12-11. Things of that nature. And this, I believe, the 82nd Midsummer Classic, National League wins 5-1. Pretty good pitch game there. Winning pitcher is technically Clippard because the All-Star game works well. He was the pitcher when the winning run was scored. Generally, in the All-Star game, if you're a starter, you have to pitch 5 innings. They don't have that rule, but Halladay pitched 2. And losing pitcher is C.J. Wilson. Adrian Gonzalez is 1 for 2, 1 home run, 1 RBI. Prince Fielder 1 for 2, 1 home run, 3 RBI as he was the MVP. So great game all the way around. I was very impressed. You saw a lot of there was a great play made by Jose Bautista. Generally he plays third base, but he was voted in as a right fielder and dove and caught this ball, foul ball, and Just a tremendous play. A position that he's played a long time. Wasn't used to the ballpark. Great to see Banquet Ballpark again. Full capacity for the Midsummer Classic. Brought a lot of nostalgia. A lot of good times in the late 90s going out to the Bob. And now it's Chase Field, but back then it was the Bob. Saw some great games there. And it was overall, again, a pretty good game. I don't think you can ask too much more from it. I liked some of the moves Bochy made regarding pitching. They went with Halladay at one point. Halladay started, and of course you had Cliff Lee that came in, even though Jurgens was the better pitcher really throughout the season, lower ERA, but they wanted the righty-lefty matchup. Craig Kimbrell pitched great. Johnny Venters, again, Brian Wilson came in and got the save. Oh, was it 5-1? I don't know. Again, generally, it's a little confusing. In the regular season, you have to only be up by 3 runs or less to get a save, or face the tying run, or get the so there are 4 ways to get a save. You pitch the last 3 innings, and your team wins, of course. You get the final out when you're facing the tying runner. You get the final out if your team is up by 3 runs or less, or you get the final out when the tying runner is on deck. Well, basically, it's three things there. I'm kind of screwing this up, but what I try to say is in the All-Star game, they make the rules a little bit differently, and in this case, Wilson gets a save even though it was a 4-run lead. So I want to get into talk about some of the stats because I was pretty entertained by the game. I watched it earlier today on delay, and overall, really not too many complaints. I mean, you saw some good stars. Holiday versus Kemp. I've been seeing Holiday and Kemp on the same team. That was great to see. You saw Bautista face Holiday. That not going to happen the rest of the season. That's not going to happen in the World Series, but we were able to see it once. Holiday, of course, a former Toronto Blue Jay now. Bautista, the star in Toronto. So it was good stuff to see all the way around. Now, the ESPYs are going to be on later today. They have to do that, of course, because this is the only day that there are no sports being played. Because of the day after the Major League All-Star Game, baseball players get back to, quote, work tomorrow. Obviously, no NBA, no NFL, and that could be for a long period of time, and no NHL. So the ESPYs will be on later on today. It's going to be hosted by Seth Meyers. The show probably will be goofy and it'll suck, but I'm still curious who's going to win some of the awards. I wanted to get for you folks the nominees of some of the awards. I wasn't able to track those down. I'll just be straight up with you. I really want. You would think they would release that information. I'm not able to find it. Any of my fans out there able to chat in or call in with some of the players and people being nominated for ESPY awards, please do so. Number 02563-1492. Again, 02563-1492. And in the United States and Canada, 301-850-2484. So, again, here are all the pitchers from American League. Weaver, 1 inning. I mean, the guy that got smoked, it was a 5-1 game, but, again, Wilson gives up 3 runs. Lee gave up another run, and Walden. That's kind of all she wrote, as they said. Dave Robertson for the Yankees pitched great. He actually was the one who pitched when Bautista made that great catch, was happy about it. See a Yankee cheer on a Blue Jay. That's some of the fun of the All-Star game, of course. National League-wise, again, like I mentioned, Holiday, 2 strong innings. He pitched the most amount of innings of any pitcher in the All-Star game. Everyone else pitched 1 or less. He pitched 2. Cliffley pitched 1.2, I should say, and so did Jurgens. But Holiday the most with 2, and Holiday, of course, leads the majors in total innings. So it's not a shock that he pitches the most amount of innings in the All-Star game. The only pitcher to give up a run, of course, Cliffley, and then they obviously took him out. Everyone else stellar, and again, Brian Wilson the save. It's cute when they put save and they put 1 next to it. Yeah, that was his only save in the All-Star game. And as far as hitting, again, Prince Fielder won the All-Star game. The All-Star game is a weird thing because you only have a couple of chances to try to win the award, and Fielder won the award with 1 hit. Now it was a 3 RBI hit, so it was a home run that was 3 RBIs, and that was enough. That's a huge deal. But that one play won him the award. So Prince Fielder wins the All-Star MVP, and Ether, he was a pinch hitter. He gets an RBI from the National League and Sandoval. But Fielder won that for the National League. And that could be advantage to Prince Fielder. Brewers are playing great right now. They have 2 MVP candidates, Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun. And in the Central, they're tied with the Cardinals for first place. Very good chance for the playoffs. Who knows? Could be in the World Series. And the National League, of course, has the home field advantage. So we're going to see what happens. Again, it'll be some exciting races down the stretch. I thought the Derek Jeter not playing was cute, but it worked out kind of well because he really didn't deserve to be in the All-Star game, certainly start. When he was voted in, he was batting about 260. But I want to stick on the captain. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about this whole Derek Jeter ball saga. I thought it was a pretty hilarious situation. Of course, the captain got his 3,000 hit on Shabbat, and with the home run, so they weren't able to save the ball in the typical fashion. Usually they get a single, they pick up the ball, and then they throw it in the dugout, and they're able to save that ball for the Hall of Fame. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that, the captain, the 3,000 ball. We're going to tell you some stories, my feelings about saving a priceless baseball, get into a little nostalgia about Mark McGwire's 62nd home run and the man who caught that ball. And so we'll take a commercial break and be back after this.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
All right, we're back here on Louis Live, and again, we're taking your phone calls, 02-563-1492 and 301-850-2484. So I want to get into this Derek Jeter situation here. Now, here, there was again, for those who don't know who live in a cave, the captain got his 3,000 hit with a home run on Shabbat, was for 5 for 5 for that game, including, of course, the game-winning RBI in the bottom of the 8th. A spectacular performance, becomes only the 28th player in Major League Baseball history to get to 3,000 hits. It was done in Yankee Stadium. Here we go.
23-year-old Christian Lopez was the fan who caught the ball, and listen to this. He gave it to Derek Jeter.
Yeah, now that's Anthony McCarron
Didn't
reporting.
ask for anything, and the Yankees did a nice thing too. They gave him tickets for the rest of the season, including the postseason, and free parking. Very nice.
I had an opportunity to meet him just a little while ago, and he got his ticket from his girlfriend, so he owes her quite a bit after this one. So he's going to be paying her back for quite some time.
I was actually taking a picture. Hopefully he just hit it, and then next thing I know, I look in the air, and I see my dad diving across a crowd of people, and he missed it because he has awful hands. And next thing I know, I just saw the ball roll in front of me, and I just jumped on it. It was just instinct. I saw the ball. I was like, wow, this is it. This is my chance. I actually played football for St. Lawrence University, and I've gotten a couple fumbles, and I've been on the bottom of the pile a couple times, so it wasn't anything really different. I'm just happy no one swung. That would turn out brutal. But security was right there. They were, in a second, they were already snatching me, dragging me up the stairs, and I'm a large man to drag up stairs. And they were like, come with us. And I was like, sure, okay. It was surreal. It didn't even cross my mind until they asked me what I wanted. And, like, the only thing I could think of was, like, oh, just signed ball would be nice and to meet him. That's about it. like I said, it wasn't about the money. It's about a milestone. I'm not going to take that away from him.
This guy's an idiot. I didn't know it again how stupid this guy is. Christian Lopez, if you're listening out there, you're an idiot. I have no problem telling you that on the air to your face. You are a moron. Let me explain something to you. This game is a business. Derek smiled with you and shook his hand and talked about how your girlfriend was so nice. Derek's forgetting about you already. He doesn't care who you are. Oh, you got some tickets and some parking. That would add up to, well, parking's pretty good. Okay, let's call it $15,000. Parking plus the tickets. Do you realize how much money you could have made selling that ball? At least six figures. At least. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the fact the fans are being so nice. The players are not nice to you. And Derek is about as nice as he gets. Derek's making $18 million this year. Derek could have shelled out six figures, couldn't he? Hey, thanks a lot for not selling to the highest bidder, giving me the ball. Here's six figures. It's not going to matter to him. Derek made over six figures in that game he played. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absurd. I don't know where to begin, and I'll tell you part of the reason why this kind of hits home. Of course, Mark McGwire, I'm a big St. Louis Cardinals fan, especially in the late 90s, and I'm telling you a pretty cool story regarding all this baseball stuff and autographs and whatever. Now, McGwire hit his 62nd home run, I believe, on September 8th. Somewhere around there. Was funny because right the day after, Ken Starr released the Starr Report, and it was based on McGwire hitting the home run because he didn't want attention to go away from his whole witch hunt of President Clinton. And McGwire's ball, I'm going to be honest with you. This is ironic what I'm talking about. I don't know who caught the ball. It was someone working there, kind of some kid there. And they gave him, a ride to Disneyland. He gave it back. He didn't sell it. Well, we don't know who he is. I don't know his name, to be honest with you. Now, the man who caught McGwire's 70th home run ball sold that ball for $3 million. You see what I'm saying? $3 million. That's a lot better than going to Disneyland. That's better than season tickets, playoff tickets, and even parking in New York City. Yes, parking in New York City is a big deal. That's worth a pretty significant chunk of money. It's not worth $3 million. You can buy a parking lot for not in New York City, but you can pay someone to park the car for you and probably pick you up on your back and walk you to the stadium with some of $3 million. And that was the smart idea. He sold it to a man. I'm going to look this up right now. I apologize for not knowing the gentleman's name. It's skipping my mind. But he sold it to the man who owns Spider-Man. I'm going to look this up right now. So, do you understand? Saying that guy who caught that ball, Todd McFarlane. There we go, Todd McFarlane. He bought the ball for $3 million, and again, the ball's kind of worthless because the record was broken 3 years later. They both cheated, but look, Todd McFarlane's going to be fine. He bought it at an auction and he'll be okay. But what I'm trying to say is that, and by the way, it's funny enough, he bought Bonds' 73rd home run ball for $450,000. So I like that. He's just not going to quit. He's going to make sure he gets the ball. He could have said, "Man, I spent $3 million. Let me quit, and this sucks." But he just paid half a million for it. So I think a Jewish guy caught in St. Louis, by the way, had sold for $3 million. Great for him. I know I don't know his name, but I know he's a smart man. Ironically, the two people that caught Bonds' 73rd home run ball, I think, lost money. They both caught it. They didn't share. They could have sold it for a lot of money. They didn't share, and all the legal fees suing each other, I think they either broke even or lost money. That's hilarious. That's kind of got Greek tragedy written all over it. Greed getting the best of both of those gentlemen. But there's a certain amount of greed that's okay. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to be a good business person. Christian Lopez was lucky enough to catch Derek's ball. Should have sold it. I mean, could have gotten at least six figures, probably $250,000. He could have been, again, New York, you're not going to be set for life, but he could have not worked for about 5 years. I understand, well, it's his. No, it's not. It's yours. You caught the ball. Part of the deal of paying for a baseball ticket is that you get to catch anything that is thrown in the stands. You can keep a bat, too, if a bat's thrown. want to make sure not to get hit. But you can catch the baseball. That's yours. You're entitled to it. You're entitled to sell it. You're entitled to keep it. You're entitled to chuck it in the river. You're entitled to taunt Derek with it. You can give it to a Red Sox fan. Give it to Andy Gershman. You can do whatever you want to do with it. That's your baseball. I just want an autograph, maybe to meet him. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, wouldn't you like to get your girlfriend something nice? You got to do those tickets. I get to go out to Yankee games and parking. I'd rather have $250,000. I really would. Great job by the security. That's a tough place to secure, to engage in security, because all those New Yorkers fight for that baseball worth a lot of money. It's still worth a lot of money whether Christian cashed in it or not. And security did a great job protecting him. He is a large man, but that mob scene, you never know, could have taken a shot, could have taken a punch. Security got him out of there right away. And yeah, the guy, this is radio, so you cannot see how big this man is, but he's bigger than Derek. He's if you were on a football field and you were choosing between the two to play on your team, you would pick Christian Lopez over Derek Jeter. I mean, this is a big guy, taller than him, wider than him. So I'm going to actually vote now. I'm going to vote keep it. So they have a poll here on Yahoo of what people would have done. Again, people are idiots. 40% of people would have given it back to the Yankees. 21% would keep it. 39% not sure. Man, I am living in a weird world. I am living in a very, very weird world. That ball is worth six figures. Believe me, if I find something that's worth six figures, I will cash it in and throw punches at anyone that tries to take it from me. All the more so I'm not going to give it back. I will kill for that ball. I would, yeah, at a minimum, throw a punch or two. Security would have had to pull me out of there. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Big Mike Goldman talk a little Jerusalem Kings and some NFL lockout after this.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Khani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Khani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Khani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email khani@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.khanisgifts.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Midreshet Devorah, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevorah.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devorah, we're the program you've been waiting for.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Okay, that didn't work. I'll have to do that later. All right, our guest right now is a big man, and he actually has a group on Facebook called Big Mike Appreciation, and he's the former host of the New York Sports Show. That'd be Big Mike Gottleman. Big Mike, how you doing tonight?
Thank the good Lord. How you doing, Ari?
Doing great. I'm sorry I didn't cue up your intro properly. I have to do that before you exit. All right, so let's go first to your baby. You obviously love the idea of playing football in Israel. For those of you who don't know, you were a standout at Troy and played football at a very high level. Probably wasn't sure you were going to play football again, and here you are playing football in Jerusalem with the Kings. So talk about how that's been going so far with the team.
It's beautiful. We're loving it there. You know, everything going on with the Kings is amazing. You know, it's like we're rebuilding the team. It's like, you know, it's just we're looking really good. You know, it's like we got some fresh new talent. That's, you know, it's a couple 300-pounders. You know, for offensive line. We got this great defensive end who's wow. I wish I had his speed again. You know, like in college I had speed. Now it's like I'm just really big and strong.
Now, last year, you talked about retiring, then you came back towards the end of the year. Your plan this season is to play?
My plan this season is not only to play, but to, like, you know, get the defensive MVP.
Okay, defensive MVP. So you're shooting high, shooting for the stars, and you've talked about that you're in pretty good physical condition. What's your playing weight right now?
My playing weight right now is I just weighed myself the other day at 398.
Wow, very nice.
Which means I dropped about 75 pounds.
Wow, impressive. Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? Getting some speed back, you know? It's like, it feels good, you know?
That's great. So 398, and what is your goal? Because I know in the past you had a certain weight goal. What do you want to get to?
I want my goal to be about 350 for the season.
350?
Yeah, that is my goal, to get that speed back, because I find that the more weight that I'm losing, the faster I'm getting. And it's funny, I'm actually gaining strength the more I work out, and it's like, you know, I'm loving it. You know, it's like...
Now, in college, you were 360, 370?
No, I played at 380.
You played at 380. Wow. Okay, so that's
right, but you should understand though that I'm not able to work out 12 hours a day like I did back in college.
Right.
You know, it's like I'm a therapist. You know, it's like I'm constantly working, so it's like, you know, work out when I can. And
no, I'm just curious of the concept that you would about being 30 pounds less in college, even though you're working out less. So just talk about that.
But you got to understand though, like first off in college, you know, you're going against guys who are like the entire offensive line is going to be over 300 pounds. You know, it's like in this league, you know, your big offensive linemen are 280.
Right.
So it's it's like I'm still a 70-pound advantage.
Right. You're saying you could be a little smaller in this league than back in college.
Right.
I got you. Okay. So goal defensive MVP, and you predicted a few months ago on the New York Sports Show the Kings are going to win the title. You still stand by that prediction?
I still stand by that prediction. Listen, you know, it's one of those things. Like there's a famous phrase, "Any given Sunday." You know.
Right.
And now let's look at the Green Bay Packers from this year. They got in as the wild card, and they got in because like other teams lost on the last weekend, right? And they got in, and they went on the road, and they went to 3 different stadiums with teams that are higher ranked and better records, and they whooped them all. And then they go to the Super Bowl, and they go against the Steelers, who beat my Jets, you know? And it's like, you know what? They won it all because like they believed in themselves, and they believed that that's what they were going to do.
You know, the South Division is wide open. There's the exodus of the Lions, Itai and Daniel going to the Pioneers in the North Division. And the Rebels will not be the same, I'm sure, without Alex Sueca, a couple other players going back to the States as well. And Beersheba is still in the second year. So, yeah, it could be wide open for the Kings. You feel like that will give you somewhat of an advantage, these players leaving some of the teams that were ahead of you last season?
For sure. And you know what? And with another seasoning under his belt, Eli Skolnick is going to be a fine quarterback. You know, he's like as you saw as the season progressed, he became a better quarterback. You know, and it's like it really was amazing to watch his progression. You know, I don't know. You look at it and like we have a couple of great new running backs, which I really makes me happy. You know, we just recruited a new wide receiver today who's like 6'3". So I'm liking it. You know, we're looking good. I'm
very impressed with Eli Skolnick. Always has been because. Many times he was taken to the ground very harshly and got right back up. And
he did. That's a true king.
Right.
We play with heart. And you know what? Listen, we over the last 2 years, the number one tackler in the league was Marshall Molinax.
Right.
You know, he's back leading the defense. You know, it's like Pin, who wasn't playing last year because of a knee injury, will be back this season. You know, it's like we're looking good. You know, we're looking like we got a good team going.
Of course, I got to ask you about this. You're losing all IFL center Big Benjamin Block. How do you expect to replace Big Ben?
Well, I'll tell you like this. We lost him at the end. You know, at the end of last season. You know, we didn't have him really as well. And it's like Ellie Sherman came in and filled in and did beautifully.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and Ellie's great to watch because when I worked out with the Canes 2 summers ago, me and Ellie's kind of new to the game then. So I've seen his progression right in front of my eyes. That yes, he is an excellent offensive lineman. Expect a lot of him. Now, Avi Shermack, does he have to go to the military?
Yeah, Avi Shermack went to the military.
Okay.
So he can't commit to football this year.
Right.
Which is upsetting because I love Avi.
He's a great player.
He's like my little brother. It's like.
Well, yeah, that guy's 6'2". How big is Avi actually?
I don't know his actual numbers, but I'd say somewhere around 280, 290.
Right. So for you, he's a little brother.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're a 400-pound man, everybody's a little. It just is what it is.
Right. So yeah, Avi is in the military. It would be possible for him to play on the Friday games or the Motzei Shabbat games.
It all depends on where it goes.
Okay.
It's like I'll tell you like this. One of the kids that I work with. He's in the Army right now. He gets out once every 3 weeks, and he only gets out for Shabbos.
Right.
So, it's like, so he gets out Friday morning, and he has to be back Sunday morning at like 9 a.m. So it's like a guy like that, you can't play. You just can't play.
Right. I mean, it depends on the unit because one of the things that we find interesting when you watch the NFL, especially in the Friday games, you have soldiers come in. It looks like they get right off base. Sometimes Thursday night as well with their guns and their uniforms, switch into a football uniform and play. But again, it depends on what they do in the unit, obviously.
Exactly. And you know what? To lose a guy like Avia because he's defending our country, seriously, I'm totally okay with that.
Right. As important as King's victory, defending the country is a pretty good thing as well, right?
Well, yeah. Now remember, during Cass led, this is the same team that led to Hillam for for all the soldiers that were fighting. So this we take a lot of pride in who we are.
Right, and the Kings itself are one of the more religious teams in the league as well, right? Obviously.
I'll tell you like this: it's not that we're one of the more religious teams. It's that we do have several players on our team who are Shomer Shabbos, Shomer Mitzvot, and it's nice, but you also have to understand that we have all sorts of people on our team, we have several Christians, we have a lot of Jews, and it's like, so, we're a good mix, we have guys who are secular, we have guys who are Haredi, we have guys who are the entire spectrum,
Right, but if a religious player wanted to play, he could feel somewhat comfortable with the Canes, you'd think?
Oh, for sure. Think about it. We have a guy on our team with smicha, right?
Right.
We have, it's like we have guys on our team who sit and learn all day in yeshiva.
Right, a lot of yeshiva guys on the team, true.
And it's like, and one of the things that I take great pride in is the fact that we're considered one of the most honorable teams in the league. So. That's
true. Let me just kind of throw a curveball. It's in my mind. It's got to come out. Now, because sometimes there is talk of games being played on Shabbat, but the Kings would never play on Shabbat,
We
correct?
will never play on Shabbat.
Okay, just making sure.
That's not even a question. It's not even a shayla. If they when it comes down to it, if there were games that they wanted to make Motzei Shabbat, which were just not realistic for us, we were like, no, we can't do that. If it's if we can't even keep Shabbat by getting to the game in time, then we're not going to play that game.
Right. Right, and that's obviously one of the scheduling issues that Urla's got to figure out because the Jerusalem team, let's say they have traveled to Beersheba, Motzei Shabbat, sometimes it's impossible.
It is. It's like when we play Beersheba, we usually, when we go down there, we go down there on Friday, because of it.
Right, so let's talk about that. Sometimes you might go there on a Friday, stay there for Shabbat so you can play the game Motzei Shabbat.
Not even. We made, when we played in Beersheba, we started at 10 a.m., which meant we got up early, earlier than normal. To go to, I remember that's 2 years ago when we went down there.
Yeah, me and Andy were with you that game.
Right, and it was like we went down earlier than other teams because we refused to take the chance for Shabbos.
Right. So yeah, right. That game was 10 in the morning. So, Kolokova, there. One last question about the Kings before we go on to the professional football in the United States. If anybody wants to play for the Kings, tell us how they can get in contact with you.
Well, if anybody wants to come play for the Kings, they can contact our current manager, Ariel. Let me give the number 0544-749-514. Again, 0544-749-514.
And I'm sorry, let me take back what I said. One more question, Blee Nader. Terry Hill, of course, he's taken over now. The Kings, we interviewed him. He is one of our sponsors, ISD. Talk about his impact because there's he's mentioned in Wikipedia. He's got a lot of great coaching experience at a very high level in college at Temple.
He was working at Temple recently. Most recently. It's like he's got a lot of connections. Recently, what happened was there was a guy who punted for Tampa Bay. who came. I can't remember his name. Guy was an NFL punter. Came in and taught a couple of guys who wanted to be punters on how to, like, proper techniques and so on and so forth. Also talked to us about training and how to do these kinds of things, which is great. The fact that we have these connections now is really going to help the team for next year.
Yeah, and he's an amazing guy, so you guys are very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
All right, going on to football in the United States, the lockout seems closer to ending. What is your take as someone that loves football and it's been part of his entire life? What's your take in general about the lockout?
My take in general is that, like, you know what? When you have a pie that's $9.3 billion, you know what I'm saying? And you're arguing over percentage points. You're arguing over millions and millions of dollars. You know, it's not just. So it's like what to do here, there, and anything else. The biggest problem I have with the lockout is that, like, the NFL players are getting the least amount of money percentage-wise of any of the four major sports.
Right, that's right.
You know, and you know what, though? But see, the thing is, though, there's still, you know, you're dealing with rosters that are 55 guys, plus you have 8 guys in the practice squad. So that money's being, you know, split up a lot more than, you know, when it comes to, like, other teams, other sports. Like, you know, they're talking about basketball. Like, the players right now, under the old agreement, we're getting 57% of the revenue, you know, where the NFL players were getting, like, a little less than half. You know, it's like, you know, and you're splitting it up. We got 15 guys as a limit on, you know, on a roster in basketball. So
and of course, there are no guaranteed contracts in football. And one of the things that I want you to talk about is someone that played football again at a high level. The injury not just the injury factor, feeling the pain long after you played. So talk about that as a guy. You played at Troy. Even a few years after, you still feel it in your body?
Oh, for sure. You want to know, you know, there was the NFL put out an interesting statistic about 10 years ago. It said that, like, anybody who played even one down in the NFL, 98% of them have arthritis.
Wow.
You know, it's like, it's a hard game, you know. It's like, you know, the things that happen with it, the concussions and so on and so forth, you know, it's a hard game. People who play it love the game.
Absolutely.
You know, they're committed to the game. They're, you know, you know, it's not like basketball or baseball or something like that, where it's like, you know, like, you can still shoot hoops when you're 55, 60 years old. It's not a question. But you can't strap on the gear and play football at that age.
Right, and I think one of the reasons why the fans throughout North America and really the whole world have been more on the NFL players' side than the NBA players' side is because of that reason. Hey, these NFL players are risking their health, risking their lives, and it really has a deterrent effect later on in life, while most basketball players are kind of living it up even after they retire.
Well, if you also remember, about 15 years ago, there was a study done about, you know, the major sports in America, the 4 major sports. And they found out when it came to baseball, basketball, or hockey, you know, the average life expectancy of one of those 3 guys was between 76 to 79 years. You know, that was their life expectancy. Now, mind you, at the time, the life expectancy of an average American was 76 years.
Right.
So you're talking that they're either going to hit the expectancy or be up to 3 years older, right?
Right, but with football,
with football, it was, you know, it was 51.
Wow.
You know, that's the difference. You know, now mind you, these guys have been playing football for 20, 30 years at this point. So.
Right, because they're playing not just any pro, obviously played college and high school, so they've been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think that always is an alarming set every time I hear it, and it's something that, again, it's their lives, and if they want to play pro, I mean, I could argue that their 51 years are better than most people's 51 years who are stuck in an office and working a job that they hate, but it still sticks out in my mind every time I hear that stat.
Right, but you know, you gotta hear these, you know, you hear these things. It's like, think about it, like, to talk about all these different things. You don't have guaranteed contracts, right?
Right.
So it's like players, like, take more risks on the field because to recover from a concussion is usually less time to recover from, like, a blown out knee.
Right.
You know, and it's like, they're like, well, if I got to make the hit, let me do it high. This way I don't mess with my knees. Because what happens, though, it's like with the helmet, when you have a concussion, there's things that you can do with the helmet, get a higher level helmet. You can even put the bubble on like they used to, you know, some of the guys wear. But it's like, so they take these risks. But what happens, though, you see people who suffer from multiple concussions, like a guy like Mike Webster, you know, what happened to him? You know, he was 45 years old and put a gun in his mouth. You know, it's, you know, they just couldn't take it after a while. So I think something definitely has to change within football, you know, but then again, you look at it from the owner's perspective, you know, a lot of times these guys wind up with like hundreds of millions of dollars in debt for the stadiums.
Right, that's a big part of the stadium. That's why a lot of times they will threaten to move unless the city helps them out with the stadiums.
Listen, look at the Meadowlands. You know, one thing you got to give to both the Jets and the Giants. You know, this is why we love New York over Boston.
Oh God.
Is, you know, yeah, I know. I hope Andy's listening.
I'm sure
you know,
he
is the fact that the new Meadowlands was a $1.6 billion facility, was done with total private money. You know, there was no government money there.
Is that right? Oh, I did not know that. Okay, yeah. No government money, all private money.
Yeah.
So at the end, now Jim Williams said that he's a big guest star in the inside of what's going on in the NFL. He says it's pretty close. What do you think? You think a few days? What's your prediction? A few days, few weeks until this is taken care of in the NFL?
I'll tell you like this. The big issues are in the details. Everything's in the details. You know, and it's like, listen, the reality is that like they're talking about like every time they miss a week of preseason games, that's $200 million.
Oh, right.
You know that they're losing. You know, I'll tell you like this: they want that money. They're gonna get something done. You know, it's like
when is the first preseason game? It's coming. It's pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's the beginning of August. The Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game, right? So it'll be the beginning of August. A few weeks left in the month of July, so try to put a deal. Now, but at this point, could they play that game without much training camp or much practice?
Listen, realistically, you're going to need at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's really what you need. Now, in order for them to get it done, like I think it's August 7th is the game, right? So it's like you need to have everything done at least 3-4 weeks before everything, I would say. You know, I'd say 4 weeks would probably be the best guess because you still got free agency. You still got like, you know, I mean, think about it right now. Like, I personally feel for all the rookie free agents. I think they're going to have a lot of issues. You know, it's like one of the ways that rookie free agents really like, you know, get the chance to shine is that, you know, between all the training camps and then the OTAs and everything else, it's like they have a lot of time to learn the playbook and to learn this and that and everything else. They're not going to have that.
It's almost like they're all holdouts, this class.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, and they're going to be behind. I mean, realistically, you know, you're going to have a lot of fine athletes who normally would have made a 2 or 3 year career in the NFL who are just not going to have that now.
Right, and that's a great point. Those guys, the rookie class, are going to be definitely behind the 8 ball. I'd be curious to see their numbers and how that compares to previous rookie classes. But
right, because one of the things that you need rookie free agents for is because you have a lot of injuries in the professional game that you don't have in, say, college or high school, or even in the IFL, because the game is much harder.
Right, of course.
You know, it's on a higher level. So it's like, so what you see is that you need those rookie free agents to fill out the rosters. You know, you need these guys.
And again, assuming that everything is on board, we're having football soon. Your Jets, the last 2 seasons, made the AFC title game. What do you look for them this year, realistically, Big Mike?
Realistically, I expect the Super Bowl, baby.
Wow. Okay, so you expect to play in Indianapolis this year.
Listen, I'll tell you this much right now. If we went into Pittsburgh the same way we went into the previous 2 games, we would have beat Pittsburgh. If we played the entire game the way we played the second half, we would have destroyed Pittsburgh.
Right, you guys only played one half into the second half. That's true.
Right, and we still almost pulled it out. You know, it was like I'm still trying to figure out when you have like first and goal on the 4-yard line. Why are you just not handing the ball to Sean Green and 4 times? I don't care. That's all you need to do. You have the best offensive line in football. You have a strong running back. You have a great fullback. Just pound, pound, pound.
Yeah, Rex Ryan's a great coach, but I definitely question. I guess that was more of the OC's decision there.
Yeah, that's more of Schottenheimer. I believe because of the lockout is the only reason why we kept Schottenheimer.
That was on that alone. I mean, that was almost kind of like Grady Little leaving Pedro in. That decision is almost a fireable offense because had they got that in, the Jets most likely would have won the ball game.
Right, and the beautiful thing is though that we would have faced the Packers in the Super Bowl. Now, if you look back at the Packers season, their lowest point total during the season was 9 points in any one game.
And that was against the Jets.
Exactly. The one team that stopped them from scoring, that was able to control them, was the Jets.
That's right on. All right, Big Mike, one last question before we let you go. The captain, because of, quote, mental exhaustion, decides not to play in the All-Star game. Well, that was the correct move. He didn't deserve to be in the All-Star game in the first place, right? Especially the start.
Listen, you have to understand, when you have fan voting on the All-Star game, you're always going to get the stars voting people in. You know, it's like, especially someone like Derek Jeter, who all year long was shooting for 3,000. Now, the realistically thing about Derek Jeter in New York, like you got to understand, New York is one of the hardest towns to play in. It's just ridiculous, the amount of media scrutiny, this and everything else. Derek Jeter has laid his life on the line for Major League Baseball over and over and over again. He's always been a great ambassador for the game, came to the World Baseball Classic, postseason, everything. He's always said and done the right things. You know, if he says that he's just mentally and physically exhausted, then I believe it. You know, it's just like, and not a single player came out against him. You know, and said, like, you know, he did the wrong thing. The only thing you had was some unnamed MLB executive who said something, and then, like, what happened as soon as that came out? Bud Selig himself defended Derek Jeter.
All right, good arguments there. I guess one thing I'd say was that the fans, if they voted him, wanted to see him, but hey, I guess benefit of the doubt should go for the guy that hops in between the lines and has played 15 plus years in New York City, right?
Come on now, you're talking about Derek Jeter, the guy who's laid his body on the line for foul balls, jumped into stands. You know what I'm saying? Wound up with a bloody face. You know, it's like.
But you know what, Big Mike, at the beginning of the show, I ripped Christian Lopez. I still stand by that. Give me the ball back. Unexcusable. I would have sold that puppy for at least $250,000. Call me Jewish. I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you like this. You know, I've read. I was reading an interesting article. You know, they laid it out both ways. You know, one of the things that I have noticed though is that, like, everybody's all about the greenbacks. Right. Money comes and goes. You know, it's like, but your honor.
Oh,
you know,
man.
your character.
Oh, God. It's a business, but Derek Jeter's a businessman. He plays for money, right? Now
Derek Jeter does, but do you want to know something though? A guy like Lopez, you know, he's never going to see that kind of money, from my understanding. You know, he's a blue collar guy working in a blue collar town.
It's a phone representative somewhere.
You know, exactly. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is. You know, maybe he's got a bunch of student loans that he needed to pay off, or maybe he could have set up a college fund for his kids. I just don't know.
He's in the stands. It's part of the ticket deal. If you get a ticket and you sit in the stands at Yankee Stadium or any stadium in Major League Baseball, anything that comes in your way, you're allowed to keep. It's a souvenir. There's no problem. We didn't steal the ball from Derek Jeter.
No, there was no stealing. But you want to know something, though? It's like, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion either way. I think that, though, you know, it does give people hope when people do things that are nice in the right way, rather than always trying to get money. I think it's nice.
All right, you can think it's. I'm telling you, would have sold a heartbeat. Would have even considered.
You want to know something, though? I think it's a beautiful thing. I really do. It shows there's still some good people in this world that don't need money for everything.
Well, that ain't me. But anyway, Big Mike Gottleman, thank you so much for being on here, Lewis Live. And
wait, Ari, before you go,
sure.
I do want to say one thing though.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about the basketball lockout if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because like I've noticed though that a lot of NBA players, you know, talking about playing all over the world.
Yeah,
you know?
Jerome Williams apparently is going to sign with Turkey. There are rumors about that. There's some rumors of Kobe Bryant going to Europe. He, of course, fluent in Italian. And all these European players could break free and bust out of the United States and go back to the European roots.
Right. Think about it. If you're a team in Spain, you got some money. You don't think you're going to get to the Gasol brothers?
Right.
You know, it's like, listen, there's a lot of things going on. I really believe that David Stern has made a huge mistake. He wanted to make the NBA a global name.
And he might get his wish.
You know, he really might get his wish. And you want to know something, though? In the end of the day, wouldn't it be funny if what destroyed the NBA was the fact that David Stern's wish for the global NBA? You know, it's like, you know, listen, I don't know how an NBA team could be losing money. You know, it just doesn't make sense, the amount of money that's flying in there between the television deals and the ticket stands and the merchandising, you know, and this, that, and everything. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that 22 teams are losing money. I just don't understand it unless the people are making that bad decisions. You know, the majority of owners in the NBA made their money in business, you know.
In other fields, that's correct.
Right. You know, they made it. So wait, you know how to make money in all these fields, but you're going to make these stupid decisions?
Right. And 23 of the 30 owners are complaining that they've lost money, lose money every year. That's almost baffling when you figure that it's one of the most popular sports in the country.
In this day and age, it doesn't make sense, considering that all the money that's flying into professional sports. You know, it just baffles me. You know, I really just can't get my head around it. You know, and it's like I see all these things, and that's one of the reasons. Like, listen, this is why I love playing for the Jerusalem Kings. Like when I played college football, you know, it was all about either getting to the NFL or it even started being a business in college, because like you go to bowl games, you make money. You know, it's like you go, like, in, you know, if you're in 1AA, you know, you go to playoffs. It's about money. It's like there's so many things about money. You know, you have these stadiums that house 50, 60, 70,000 people. You know, like when Troy State played, you know, the University of Alabama, Birmingham, right? What happened? We always played in Birmingham. Why? Because 80,000 people fit in the stadium. Because more people wanted to go because it was an in-state game. You know, it was like one of those things. It's like, because it's about the money. It was so much about the money. When you play in a league like the IFL, you're playing because you love the game.
Well said. Big Mike, okay, before I let you go, I'll let you give out the contact info one more time, and then we got to take a commercial break.
Okay, well, all right, so hold on, let me just get the number back. I just put it away. It's 0544-749-514. Again, that's 0544-749-514. Or if somebody missed the number, they can always get it on Facebook, you know. Look at the ISD Jerusalem Kings. You know, it's like we're on Facebook, and it's like we're looking good for the season. You know, it's like it's great. You know,
good stuff as always. Big
also, wait, hold on before I hang up with you, Ari.
Go, Big Mike.
If anybody, we're also looking to fill out our coaching staff. So if anybody else also wants to coach, you know, they can contact Ariel or, you know, contact with the Facebook. You know, it's like we're looking good. You know, like I say.
All right, that's great. Mike Gondelman, thanks so much for being on Louis Live.
No problem. All the best.
All right, you too. Big Mike Gondelman, we really appreciate the time. We'll take a commercial break, wrap things up here on Louis Live.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Khani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Khani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Khani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email khani@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.khanisgifts.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in FIT. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Midreshet Devorah, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevorah.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devorah, we're the program you've been waiting for.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Listen to Louis Live every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 10 p.m. to midnight on RustyMikeRadio.com. Hopefully that was a good promo. Okay, we want to thank Big Mike Gondelman, our guest tonight here on Louis Live. Tomorrow night, jam-packed show. Stars are out. Paris David Blumenthal to discuss martial arts and a book he wrote about that. I don't read, so it'll be good if he can tell me what's in the book, because I'm not going to read it. Even if he threatens to kick me in the face, not going to read it. ESPN Steve Bunnan. Great personality in ESPN. We'll learn more about the lockout from from Steve and, of course, from the great Jim Williams, our insider. He said last week that they were just dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So hopefully that'll be correct for us NFL fans, and we'll have to get into the NBA dispersion. Deron Williams is going to Turkey. Bad news for us NBA fans. That's it. It's all right. God bless and good night.